Yo, what's going on, Planet S.O.N family? It's your main man, JD. Thank you for tuning in. This is Drinks with JD.
For me, I think it just comes naturally. Like I said, my dad had his business, always business minded, and then he had the aggression. He was always fighting.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have that fighter that just knows how to fight.
Yeah.
Like you have Mike Tyson, not really that educated, but the man is really brilliant.
Yes.
And now, with years of being around, businessman, he's become a real businessman.
That's right.
And with me, it always came natural. Like I mean, obviously I went to UCSD.
Yeah.
So with fighting, it was just I always been athletic, and it was, how would I say it? I mean, I still train. I don't stop, but I'm not into wanting to look a certain way anymore. Like, I'm just more into like a healthy, where you go all in. All in means like you start eating and feeding your body, and you don't restrict that, so you could have like the cut up muscles.
For sure.
Because eventually it starts taking its toll. Your fingernail starts to break, your hair, you just get foggy headed, but you're carrying this look where you look strong, but you're not. So a lot of those people that are cut, bodybuilding, and especially that,
Yes.
they're not really that strong. So if you look at a lot of MMA fighters, you see the difference of their body, and you see why they look different from a like a bodybuilder or something like that. So it's like you need body fat to fuel you. So then you see like, and they're really more thin when you see like a runner. That's more endurance.
Yeah.
Like a soccer player, man. If you get in a fight with a soccer player that knows how to punch, that guy is trained to go for hours.
Yeah, so like how Mayweather, how I think he would run like 16 miles a day or something like that. Something crazy, because boxing is just straight cardio.
Yes.
I mean, to go the distance.
Yeah.
Especially with Mayweather, you're not going to hit him. So, and he's always just moving.
Yeah,
so
he's more faster than most people that I see that are just lifting weights. And
for
they're
sure.
looking, because there's difference between looks and there's the difference between health. So that's where I learned from Mike Dolce, is that people have this thing like, oh, you're very cut and lean, and your veins are popping out, and your muscles are showing and stuff. I'm like, but you're not healthy inside.
That's right.
Inside, you're like, oh, like that's how I was all the time. And imagine when I'm dealing with business, you have to deal with crazy people all the time, and you have to constantly keep your cool.
That's right.
That takes a lot of energy.
That's right.
And it's just, I just think that's the difference. It was a difference of like, you focus on your opponent, you focus on training, you focus on your performance, and just winning your fight. Business, it's gonna be similar, but now you're dealing with businessmen. You're dealing with your mind. I mean, you're always gonna have that competition of like another promoter, like but
I mean, it's still competition regardless.
it's always competition. Me, I don't care if it's like, if they think, I mean, I have a few promoters, like even a few people in the business, they say, Libby, you have haters. I'm like, I have haters, but I don't love them. I mean, I don't hate them. I love them. I'm like, I ain't have nothing against. I will buy $100 ticket too. So
like haters are your motivators.
Yeah. Well, it's just like I don't. It's not gonna do anything. I'm like, this is not a true fight. Meaning like what I'm doing with Fearless is so different, and it's not what people think. It's more of I want to empower and encourage everyone. Because I was always discouraged.
Well, how about this? How about the naysayers at the beginning, when you were just barely thinking about, I want to start Fearless, I want to do this, I want to keep pushing this? Were there a lot of naysayers like, yo, Libby,
there's still a lot.
Don't do that?
I even had one of my friends' girlfriends, and he's a promoter. You have no idea what it feels like to do a promotion. And I'm like, you have no idea that I've been doing this for 5 years in Mexico,
right.
which is so hard.
That's right.
Because Mexico, there's territories. There's big people that control
Yes.
and that have power over there.
It's
And
a
they're
different
not
perspective.
and they're
different
not going to
aspect.
be like, they're going to be like, dude, you're out of line, like either leave or get killed. And that's how it is. And when they said that, I was just like, you have no idea. And I just have to smile, and I'm like, it's okay, because they're stuck in their little box in America.
Yes.
They don't know what goes on out in there.
Overall in the world, because
Yeah.
we're also talking about a sport that's international.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, with different, in countries with different laws, with different rules, with different just way of living. You know, and yeah, I mean, that's awesome that you're also thriving in another country. You know, and that you're also setting roots over there to just be international.
But it wasn't easy.
For sure.
There's a lot of death threats. There's a lot of there's a lot. And a lot of people don't know that, you know?
Yeah.
There's
It's
a lot.
crazy.
Every single time, you think oh man, they left me alone.
Yeah.
Something
Next
happens.
day,
Yeah.
something,
And so
yeah.
it's kind of like, man, I mean, I have to really thank my coach Miguel, because he's like, I mean, he's amazing, you know. He was the Marine that was in the front line for me.
Okay.
So for the few first Fearless, he was like, I'm the promoter, I'm this. So people was kind of like, he was like my protector.
Yeah.
Until I was finally like, okay.
Libby's right next to me, and you embraced your position.
Yeah. So then the two of us were like, okay, like you're my protector, because it was crazy. Yeah, I'm like a female, especially right now, like Mexico City, you have like the feminine movement.
Okay.
Because there's so many women being killed, and
Yes.
the women are saying, you guys are not doing anything. So just like here we have Black Lives Matter,
Yes.
over there they have the feminine movement.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like everywhere in the world, the people that are being held down and nobody cares about are finally speaking up.
That's right.
And it's something that that's going to move, but little by little.
Yes.
Like with George Floyd, we got victory, but it's still a lot of hard work to
course.
knock down every door.
Of course.
Like that was the beginning of like, enough is enough, man.
Yes.
Like, you understand, like we have crooked cops, and those crooked cops make good cops look bad, and the good cops ended up getting sometimes murdered.
I completely understand exactly what you're saying, and it's admirable. You know, it's commendable that you're a part of that, as far as highlighting women and allowing them to just be a part of something special. You know, because I believe that sports takes away, or maybe distracts you to what the world is going through at that very moment.
Yeah.
You know, yes, sometimes sports could also be impacted from what's going on in the world, as far as, like, let's say the civil rights movement and September 11th, and also what's going on now, how you even see certain leagues wearing, there's certain thoughts on what side they're on. But I feel that, let's say in Mexico, how you could just allow these women to have an outlet, you know, to become stronger within themselves. Because, I mean, overall, MMA is pretty badass, you know, so, you know, you have to be a badass woman to want to actually
To get punched
fight.
in the face, you know, to
Exactly,
get choked
exactly.
out, and you
Exactly.
know, like what drives you,
Yeah.
you know, like what makes you want that, you know, and and it takes a special person to just be a fighter. Everybody says like, oh, the money. I'm like, really? I'm like, I know people that are getting paid $200 that just turned pro,
Yeah.
and are begging for sponsors.
Yes.
And I'm like, and you're fighting for one of the best leagues out there.
Yes.
Best leagues.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, but then my league is downgraded because it's nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, it's okay. I mean, they could get signed by whoever they want to get signed.
No doubt.
But I will take care of my fighters.
That's right.
I will show them what it feels like to live in luxury. and especially I have a few amazing partners that are just amazing.
That's amazing. I'm happy for you. That's awesome that you connect yourself with people who want to be a part of it and not just waste your time.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta ask this: as a female fighter or a woman who loves MMA, who's your favorite professional MMA fighter?
My favorite.
Yeah, overall, like right now, let's say today.